Alrighty, folks, those on the channel will recognize this fine gentleman. He has been on the channel a lot. He hasn't been on the channel about a year or so, but this is Rylas Dana, probate attorney extraordinaire, Arizona, California. How you doing, Rylas?
Hi, great. Good to be back here. I haven't appeared, but definitely listening, definitely tuning in and there with the ORAT family. So
There you
love
go.
all the content. I love getting my news here and hear what's going on.
That's amazing. Well, Rylas, you reached out to me yesterday talking about the Attorney General of Arizona is apparently suing big landlords for price fixing. Could you do us a favor as an attorney, as a lawyer, kind of break down what the kind of crux of the case or the suit is so that maybe the average Joe can understand?
Yeah, so I've seen this for a little bit, and then I was like, huh, I wonder if like Zuber's going to talk about this. And then I finally sent you the article. I was like, hey, Zuber, has this hit your radar yet? So,
Yeah.
here's the deal. So it looks like it's big apartment complexes. So the Attorney General is suing some big apartment companies as well as the software company, and they're suing them on a theory of price fixing, saying
Yeah.
that all these landlords, these apartments, and this software company, they made it look like I haven't got too deep into it, but basically they make it look like it's kind of scarce and this is the going rate everywhere.
Right.
So because everyone was using the same tool to identify the rate, they're suing
Yeah.
them on a theory of a price fixing.
Yeah, so if we step back from this situation to other suits in history about price fixing, basically, as I understand it, again, not an attorney, that's your job, not mine. You get the big players in the market to kind of collude on the side to set some arbitrary number. Think oil, think OPEC, and they agree in Saudi Arabia and all these other places. Hey, $80 a barrel, as opposed to letting market forces tell you that no, the price is actually $74, right? So they're getting the whole idea of price fixing is there's some increased margin that a normal competitive situation would eat away. So these big, in this case, landlords are benefiting unnecessarily from using a single software to set prices. That's kind of what I'm seeing.
Yes, yeah, that's the lawsuit.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting. And again, I think it's really telling that the attorney is not only going after the landlords, but they're going after the software. So when I think about that situation, you have a software provider, an algorithm of whatever that your big competitors are using. In theory, if this case goes forward, that's not good. Because again, if all the big players are using one technology and using that data to set prices, you could, I mean, if it works, they're all open to that case, I would guess.
Yeah, yeah, pretty interesting that they pulled in the software company, but I guess that's kind of like the glue that ties everyone together.
No, that's it. That they're basically, yeah. But as I see this case, because you sent the article, I looked around because I knew I was talking to an attorney today, so I wanted to be prepared. Um, Basically, what they're saying is these landlords are not talking together, so they're not doing the backroom country club collusion of old, but they're all using the same repository, and that repository is producing the same answer for all of them. So it'll be interesting because again, it's the single point of truth, if you will, that they're all using. So this could be a very interesting legal case.
Yeah, so the other thing that's happened since we've last connected the last year and a half, it's happened in Phoenix, probably a lot of other markets too, but apartments have popped up everywhere. They're now being completed.
Yeah,
So there
supplies coming.
was the supply is kind of already it's already here, and I haven't followed that closely, but I think the rents are dropping
Mhm.
because there is a ton more supply.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're definitely seeing rents in Class A Sun Belt areas, which obviously Phoenix and Arizona is a part of. Rents are soft, move-in specials, 3 months rent. They're doing all they can to keep the sticker price the same, but the what's called the effective rent is without question dropping. Uh, it'll be very interesting, as Ken McElroy says, the next couple of years as absorption slowly gets rid of them, because there's no building behind these. So maybe something's different in 26 or 27. But yeah, there's a lot of units coming and a lot of supply coming to the Sun Belt for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen it. So a lot of the neighborhoods that I've seen being constructed were actually build for rent communities. So
Interesting.
townhouses or condos or what perfect first time
Yeah.
houses, but they all went in as they're leasing them. So
Yeah.
they're owned by the big companies still. So the way I see it is it's a political thing. Everything's
Hmm.
political. Saying you're not political is political, but it's one of those topics that comes up, a little bit more in election years,
For sure.
where I've heard RFK talk about it,
Hmm.
where he's kind of talked about the corporate landlords,
Hmm.
but again, I don't know how you really go after that in a meaningful way. Any attempt is gonna be probably just horrible. What are they
Yeah.
gonna say? Yeah, I don't know how they would address it. Like how large of an entity can you be,
Yeah.
or
They're going to start setting arbitrary size limits. Then there's going to be a whole set of lawyers and whatnot creating nested LLCs. And oh, look, no, we don't own 1,000. We own 995. And but oh, by the way, we've got 1,000 LLCs or whatever. So it'll be certainly a big mess. I would think.
yeah. So it seems kind of like that. This lawsuit, looks good. Like, yeah, I'm for the people. Here
Mhm.
I am fighting for you, but I don't know if that
Yeah,
kind of dies down later.
I don't know, but once the case is filed, it's going to be argued, and that's an interesting, as a non-lawyer, it's an interesting theoretical argument, right? Again, price fixing of old was, rich guys getting at the country club and agreeing. What's happening here is there's a central technology that they all use that's producing the same answer. So it'll be interesting to see where this one goes. But you brought something else up, something called corporate transfer. And forgive me, I didn't write down the rest of it. What
The
what
the
what is it?
corporate transparency act.
Oh, transparency. Yeah. What is that?
Yeah. So yeah. Before we get to that, let's say one more thing about
Okay.
the apartments. I guess it's just kind of one more factor. You've highlighted on this channel. There's probably a problem in financing a lot of those deals.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm looking at all these apartments that have been thrown up, and I'm going, man, there's probably a lot of LPs that are going to lose money on these deals. They're
Ooh, there's
probably
some LPs going to zero, man. They're going to zero.
yeah.
Oh.
So just one more factor there we'll watch and see. And then yeah, this kind of ties into if they go after landlords, there's a law passed called the Corporate Transparency Act.
Mhm.
This is a federal thing. So
Okay.
this affects anyone who has an LLC, corporation, or limited partnership even.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you have to report the members. There's a new government entity called FinCEN that
Mhm.
you have to report anyone who has meaningful ownership. So that means over 25%, or if they have control over it. If they're like a manager,
Mhm.
anyone that has control over it.
Okay.
So I recently did a video on this on my YouTube channel last Monday. So
Okay.
we were in Sedona actually for a retreat. I forgot that I scheduled the time then, so I had to right as I got to the conference center, I had to find a place to you'll get Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best lighting setup and all that, but anyways, as right after we finished, I did the video with my friend Natalia. She's a lawyer in Florida who knows a
Mhm.
lot about the subject. And right after we finish, I get a voicemail from her saying, "Hey, the state of Alabama has just sued over this, and they won, saying that finding this FinCEN to be unconstitutional.
Oh wow.
So it's been overthrown, but just to this one party, just to the state of Alabama so far. So right now that doesn't apply to everyone else yet.
Interesting.
So, but
Okay.
anyone with an LLC, you have until the end of this year to report that new FinCEN.
Now, is there an online place to do that, or where's someone supposed to do that?
Yeah, it's like fincen.org.
Okay.
And my other video has more information about it, and
Okay.
I'm not an expert on it. I just hate it, and I think it's annoying. So as I was thinking about it, I did that video a while ago with Dion talking about LLCs, and it's like, man,
Yeah.
this is like one more
One
reason
more
on
strike.
Dion's
Yeah.
side. It's one more pain to have,
Yeah.
any type of entity. The other thing that it does is attorneys, if anyone creates an LLC on behalf of someone else, you have to report. So
Mm,
if I have my secretary create the LLC, she has to report, her information as well
mm.
as the business information.
Wow.
So my primary business is estate planning, right? Setting
Yep.
up estate plans and probates. I already, it's not that I hate LLCs. I mean, they fit in the right places, but I only do them in addition to an estate plan.
Right.
I don't do just like single smaller
Single member.
transactions.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, we do them like in addition, like if we have a client that's setting up their estate plan and trust and they
Hmm.
have rental properties. I'm still of the opinion that they give you protection, but unfortunately, this is just one more cost of doing business with an LLC. There's an extra reporting thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you think that reporting thing, again, I haven't looked into this one at all. Is it a single time or do you have to do it every year?
It's a single time. So it's a
Okay.
single time.
All right.
So if you have any properties in an LLC, and this is going to affect a lot of people. That's another reason I want to talk about it. There's a lot of people that don't consider themselves entrepreneurs or small
Yeah.
business owners, but maybe they own a piece of a property inside of an LLC,
Sure.
or or they might have some investment which is actually in an LLC.
For sure. Absolutely. So again, this is something that's coming and it's due by the end of 2024.
Correct. Yeah. So anyone that already has an LLC in existence, you have to do it by the end of this year.
Mhm.
And then if you create an LLC, you have 90 days. So if you
Okay.
created an LLC this year, you have to do the reporting within 90 days.
Gotcha.
And it's going to change the LLC game, I
For
think,
sure. Absolutely.
just because I think businesses will think twice, or at least, maybe charge more just because of this extra reporting requirement.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on. Again, you've been on the channel a lot. You helped a lot of folks in one rental at a time with estate planning. As I recall, you are licensed in servicing Arizona and California. Is that still true?
Correct. Yeah, I do estate planning, both Arizona, California. I'll administer trusts in both states, meaning after someone passes away or is disabled. But as far as probate, I only do the Arizona probates currently. I'm not filing any California
Yeah.
probates. So the California probates, it's a whole different animal. They take a long time.
Yeah.
Everything has to go through the court and get approved by the court. They don't work as well for investors. So like in Arizona, I have a lot of investors that will bring me people that need to sell and need to do the
Hmm.
probate.
Yeah.
So there's a way where they can still kind of buy it. But in
Hmm.
California, it's really hard to do that because they require appraisals and the
Yeah.
judge to, and it just takes like years to get it done. So the investors are usually not able to kind of carry it that long, and it just
Right.
doesn't make sense too.
Yeah, I gotcha. You also have a YouTube channel where you do an amazing job of putting educational videos out like this transfer tax. What is it? What is the channel name?
Rylus Law. So I've rebranded everything to my first name to make it easier. So
There you go.
Rylus Law is my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those things, website.
Awesome. I appreciate you, Riley. Thank you for reaching out. Anytime you get these exciting topics, please let me know. We will share it with the community. You're amazing. Keep doing it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for everything you share. I appreciate it.
You got it, buddy.